I have, I think I have like 30 or 40 protests up on my YouTube channel. And the biggest one that I personally organized was for Julie Jamon in my town. So Julie Jamon was an 80-year-old woman in my town, Port Townsend, Washington, who stood up in the YMCA against a man who was in the women's locker room helping little girls with their bathing suits. She was in the women's locker room. She was changing in the stall, changing out of her swimming suit when she heard a man's voice and was like, "What is happening?" Looked out and, saw that there's a man with little girls. She told him to get out, and then of course she was called a bigot and a transphobe, and that she was harassing him, and that he was apparently staff and he was allowed to be there. And we held a protest for her in front of City Hall in Port Townsend. There was maybe 25 of us who stood up to speak, and we were met with about 300 protesters, maybe more. I had put out a press release for the event because I had done some other events already. So I had some press contacts, and I put out a press release, and obviously it got way out. And we had Antifa from Seattle and Portland and all over attacking us, surrounding us, just like screaming at us. And that event went really viral, and Julie eventually, got to talk. She got on Tucker Carlson, and ended up having a lawsuit, which actually just got settled. They settled a lawsuit with her. She got a nice amount of money for that, but yeah, that was kind of the biggest one. And then I've done a lot of others. I, protested in front of the United Nations. I protested in front of the ACLU. I've protested at the Seattle Korean spa event where a man was in the women's Korean spa. I was at the NCAA's against Leah Thomas. So I was there, before Riley Gaines was speaking out. We were there protesting Leah Thomas on her and other swimmers' behalf. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I mean, there's some other noteworthy ones, but I was, protested in front of New York City Hall. Yeah, I've been a lot of places trying to stand up for women and girls' boundaries on this issue, and for free speech as well, for our right to speak about these issues.